So I'd like to introduce Lori Falce. She is a reporter with the Center Daily Times in State College, Pennsylvania. Lori, thank you so much for joining us. She's on Skype with us right now. How are you doing, Lori?
I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. So thank you so much for joining us. I know you're very busy and have a lot of deadlines going on. So we wanted to chat with you because you and your colleagues have been extensively reporting on this case and doing an excellent job. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this. There was a month-long investigation by a grand jury, and a timeline was released, in part documented very well by security cameras in the Beta Theta Pi complex. Can you just walk us through what happened that night?
According to the information that was originally released by police and that was kind of shored up by the grand jury presentment that was issued this month, it was around 11 o'clock that Timothy fell at the Beta Theta Pi house. He was attending a pledge party. He had just been told that he was a pledge. He was attending there, and apparently they had a gauntlet that you had to go through drinking at different stations. The information says that he fell around 11 o'clock, and over the course of the next 12 hours, there were other injuries, there were other things that happened. One that didn't happen was that he didn't get medical attention until someone called around 11 o'clock in the morning on the Friday, next day. Passed away on that later in Hershey.
And so as you're going over the documents and the grand jury has been going through, months-long investigation, did you take a look at the timeline, and did you take a look at any of the video yourself?
The video has not been released to us. It was shown, the video is actually kind of still up in the air. There's Beta Theta fraternity, the Alpha Epsilon chapter that was at Penn State, has gone to court to get that video back from the district attorney. We had a story this week we were asking for help in contempt of court for not complying with an order to give it back.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, and you and your colleagues have done an excellent job reporting and covering this case. So according to your publication, documents stated that Piazza did not receive help, and you just mentioned this, for 12 hours. And I read in one of the stories that members slapped him, sat on him, and moved him. And then he died 2 days after the party with brain and spleen injuries. And that was according to a report that you guys had, and that was according to documents. Have you spoken to anyone that's either involved in the case or to investigators?
We've spoken to a number of the investigators, the district attorney's office, representatives for the family.
And what have representatives for the family say? The family has been pretty outspoken wanting justice.
The family has been very vocal about their desire to see justice done for their son, but I think they've also been clear they make sure that this does not happen again.
And when you are reporting on this, it looks like the fraternity and 18 people are facing charges in this death. What's the community saying?
There's actually, most of the community response has been that this is a horrible thing, that should never have happened, and that it can't happen again. There is also some response. It is largely from a younger, sector of the population that might be students. We can't dismiss the role of personal responsibility in this. That Timothy did make a decision to come to the party, and so we have some lively debate on our comment section when that comes up.
Oh, that's interesting. So people are kind of weighing in. Are you seeing different age groups weighing in on both sides?
Sometimes can be hard to tell on Facebook.
Yeah.
The comment section on our site is kind of powered by Facebook, so it can be hard to tell. And that's why I'm really not entirely sure of the demographic on some of the commenters. And I wouldn't want to ascribe like at sentiment to being students when it could be people who are, masquerading it. We're not sure.
Yeah, that's very interesting though. People saying and commenting those kind of things. So the grand jury handed down the indictments, and now we're moving forward. What comes next?
The next thing that we actually have on deck is a round of preliminary hearings for the young men who are involved, and those will happen next month. After that, after the preliminary hearing, it depends. I mean, so it's entirely possible that some of the charges could be dismissed at preliminary hearing. There could be a lot that happens from there. Once the preliminary hearing is over, we could see pleas entered on some of them. We could see others. We could see the case start to march toward an actual trial. It's really it depends on what happens at the preliminary hearing.
And what's happening with the university? What comes next for them?
The next thing that's happening at the university is actually going to be a Board of Trustees meeting on June 2nd, where they talk about their response more. The university they initially suspended the fraternity for 5 years, but they came back in March, and after some of their own research was done, and said that they were banning the fraternity forever. And they have taken other steps regarding all of their fraternities. They've limited the number of parties they're allowed to have next year. They have placed a delay on rush for recruiting new members. They've said that any alcohol that is served at parties has to be served by state licensed bartenders. Will check ID for everyone involved, and that any violation of this can result in suspension. We have already had one fraternity that got suspended for violating those rules fixed.
Oh, wow. So that's big.
Yeah.
Lori, anything that you'd like to add moving forward? You are closely reporting on this case. Just something that people outside should know.
I think that people need to remember that this is an ongoing case. That just because the grand jury presented charges doesn't mean that we get to say that this isn't an innocent until proven guilty situation. We still do not know exactly what happened, and that's something that will come out as the case continues to go through court.
That's an excellent point, and appreciate that reminder, which is so true because we're reporting on things and we do have to remember that it is an ongoing case. I appreciate that, and we'll continue to follow your stories. Appreciate the ongoing reports. Lori Falce, thank you so much from the Center Daily Times in Pennsylvania. We appreciate that so much and look forward to following your journalism. Thank you for joining us on Go Local Live in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Appreciate it.